What's going on, guys? Skyle here, back on the video, and his video I want to do a long-term review of the Apple Magic Keyboard for the iPad Pro. So in my case I have the 12.9-inch iPad Pro, the 2018 version, but again this could work on any of the latest iPads, again anything later than 2018. And there's two different versions, so I want to just talk over that real quick. My experience as a student using this device, as well as someone that runs a business. So I want to talk about whether or not this actually replaces a laptop for me or helps me replace a laptop, and whether or not it's actually worth the hefty $350 price tag. So let's get right into it. So first things first, let's talk about the price. So it starts at $349. Again, it ranges in the price depending on whether you get the 11-inch or the 12.9-inch. Again, since I have the 12.9-inch, I'm going to talk about this one. But again, unless you find a sale on it, it's going to be around $350. In this case, Amazon has it for $324.88 right now. So again, if you want to check it out, link will be in the description below for you guys. And there's two different colors to choose from now. So there's black, which is the one I have right here, and there's a white design, so a white color. So that is what that one looks like. Let's just talk a little bit about the device itself, or the accessory. The Magic Keyboard is the perfect companion for the iPad Pro, now available in two colors, again black or white. It features a comfortable, responsive typing experience, a trackpad that opens up new ways to work, a USB-C port for charging, backlit keys, and a front and back protection. With a floating design, the iPad Pro attaches magnetically, and it allows you to smoothly adjust to the perfect viewing angle. So before I go ahead and put the iPad back in its case, if you will, I want to talk a little bit about the design itself. So as you guys can probably see, I have a carbon fiber design right here all over the iPad. It's a skin. I don't remember the name of the company, but I'm sure dbrand and a lot of other companies offer this. So if you want to check this out, you can certainly do that to personalize your keyboard experience. Yeah, so here's what it looks like when it's folded up. So it's at a little bit of an angle, and that's because of this right here on the very end. And then on the other end is the USB-C port. So this can only be used for charging the iPad. It cannot be used to pass through things like microphones or camera equipment or anything like that. It's only for charging. So if you want to use something like a camera or another accessory, you're going to have to plug the accessory into the other main port for the iPad. There is an Apple logo right here on the back, which you guys can probably see through the skin, and there's a cutout for the camera. So again, this is primarily meant for the later iPads, but again, it still works perfectly fine on the 2018 version. So when you go ahead and open it up, you'll see 3 pins right here. This is for the smart connector, so it magnetically connects to the iPad magnetically connects to this keyboard accessory, which allows it to work without a battery, which is pretty nice. So here's what the keyboard looks like, and then here's what the trackpad looks like. Nice click to it. Now, to go ahead and attach the iPad to the keyboard, all you have to do is align it, and it connects just like that. So at that point, you're able to go ahead and use the mouse or the trackpad to do whatever you'd like. So that in itself, I think, is pretty great. It helps a lot with productivity and doing different stuff, whether it's running a website or different graphic design or different intensive things. This works great. Now, I will say one of the best use scenarios for this keyboard is with typing. So again, I am a college student, so I type a lot, whether it's papers or different discussion threads or assignments in general, projects, whatever the case may be. So of course, typing is a must, and it has to be a good typing experience. And I will say this does not disappoint whatsoever. I think it's very comparable to this keyboard right here. So a lot of you know about this keyboard. Of course, it's for the iMac. You can also get it for other devices if you'd like, but the main one is for the iMac. And as you can see here, when you put it on top, it perfectly aligns. So if you have a Magic Keyboard for the iMac, this is literally identical in style and the design, and it feels very similar with the typing experience. So I turned the lights down a little bit so you guys can see the trackpad or the backlit keys right here. So it is pretty nice. So you guys can probably see this pretty well. But this is the backlit keys. There is no way to adjust it on the keyboard itself, but if you go ahead and go into settings for this keyboard, you are able to adjust the backlit keyboard brightness. So focusing on my own personal usage of this keyboard, I primarily use it for video editing or web design or anything like that. So again, it's really a productivity focused accessory. So as you guys see here, the main thing I really like about this keyboard in particular is that you do have that trackpad, so you can treat it a bit like a laptop. So you can move between different clips, and you can take care of that. Do Command B to split a clip, or whatever the case may be. You're able to take care of all of that on this keyboard. Now, there are a few things you have to question when deciding whether or not to purchase this keyboard. The first thing is, are you looking to turn this into a laptop, right? So in my case, a couple years back made the decision to solely use my iPad Pro for all my business and work activities. So whether that's school or web design or whatever the case may be, my goal was to use the iPad as my sole device. And I will say the Magic Keyboard makes it 1,000 times easier to do. Now, is it a perfect experience? No, but I will say it's very, again, I can't emphasize this enough, it's very similar to a laptop experience. So if you like your laptop or you like a MacBook, but you're thinking about switching to the iPad, but you're worried about like the keyboard experience or the fundamentals really of being able to use a trackpad, being able to multitask, being able to type and have a good experience, I think this is really where the iPad plus the Magic Keyboard come in handy. But again, the main benefit with this design is that you're able to just pull the iPad off and turn it into a tablet. So you can go ahead and watch Netflix or watch YouTube videos or play a video game, whatever the case may be, by simply detaching it. That is something, of course, you cannot do with a laptop. I think the key demographic for this device is college students, right? So if you're primarily using the internet to complete assignments, or you're using a lot of Microsoft Word or Teams or Zoom now, with of course, a lot of classes being online. For things like that, I think there is no better option than this. It is certainly expensive. Again, the keyboard itself is $350. The iPad can run anywhere between $1,000 to $2,000. So it's certainly not cheap, and it's certainly in that laptop category in terms of pricing. But I will say it's a very different experience when you're comparing the MacBook Pro to the iPad Pro. I will say, in my experience, this is more of a fun device versus the MacBook Pro, which is solely productivity focused. So if you're looking to watch YouTube or watch Netflix or game a little bit with the App Store, or do anything like that, or graphic design, if you're big into art and you want to make designs and you want to utilize the Apple Pencil, I think the iPad Pro plus the Magic Keyboard combination is phenomenal. I think there is no better option than this for creators, and I think it would be an exceptional option for you to consider. Now, on the other hand, if you only have one device, right, and you're a student that needs certain programs, or you can't rely on the internet for everything, or Microsoft Word or Office for everything, then I would certainly, if you're considering the iPad, I would certainly just abandon that, because you're probably going to end up needing the keyboard, because that is what turns it into a laptop. And that's looking at a price that's very similar, if not more expensive, than the MacBooks, which can run every platform. So again, if you're not into creative work, or you're not able to use this iPad for various purposes, again, like creative design, or watching Netflix or playing games, I would stay away from this device and stick with a computer or a normal laptop experience. So I realize this has pretty much turned into an iPad plus Magic Keyboard opinion or a long-term review, but I really am focusing primarily on the Magic Keyboard, because in my opinion, if you don't get this device or this accessory, the iPad isn't able to be used to its full potential. So without this keyboard, you're not able to really do a lot of the tasks you want to do, like whether it's word processing, or using the trackpad to mess with different designs, or editing video, for example, or just handling basic tasks like viewing the web or completing assignments online. So I will say, if you're even considering the iPad, you need to consider the Magic Keyboard, which is why I'm really focusing on this so much. Now, I will say the Apple Pencil isn't as necessary. If you're not interested in taking handwritten notes in class, you could certainly just use the iPad plus the Magic Keyboard to write up your notes and do whatever you need to do. So let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. I want to hear your feedback on this. If you have an iPad or you're considering getting an iPad, why are you looking into this? Why is this an option for you versus a computer? Again, in my case, I not only like the iPad design, because I think it's more fun to use, but I will say I think it offers different options. So I don't like being forced to do one thing or the other. Now, while it certainly isn't a perfect experience, like the trackpad is kind of small, I would say the pros certainly outweigh the cons, especially since you can have a touch screen if you want to, or you can attach different accessories to this. For example, the Magic Trackpad or the Magic Mouse. For $350, you have to question, is it really worth doing this combo for over $1,000 or $1,300? Or are you better off just going for a MacBook Air or MacBook Pro? I mean, everyone's situation is going to be different. In my case, I'm very happy with this decision. I have not regretted it once. But again, other people need certain programs. So in those cases, you're going to have no other choice but to go with a MacBook. So yeah, again, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up. It helps the channel a ton. Also, if you want to see more content just like this, be sure to click the subscribe button and click that notification bell to get notified each time we upload. Anyway, thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you guys in the next video. Peace.